Hello. Um, Good evening. So I wanted to briefly touch upon the certified Scrum product owner class. So what is that we wanted to do? What is that we are going to do in the CSPO class? So if you look at it, the agenda of CSPO is like you have this, it's a 2-day session. On day one, this is our agenda in brief. We wanted to touch upon Scrum basics, and then we do a product owner deep dive. So we also want to talk about what is a product owner is and who is not a product owner. What are some of the anti-patterns of a product owner? So what makes product owners great, or what makes product owners different? And here we talk about some of the questions that people ask, like, okay, who is a product owner? And what is the difference between a product owner, a product manager? And what are some of the things the product owner must be really careful of? What makes product owner different from other roles or accountabilities? So this is all what we are going to discuss in this session, in this product owner deep dive. And then after that, we focus on product vision. We take an example, we take a case study, and we write a product vision using elevator statement. And then we also create a product strategy for it, a simple product strategy. And then we do a user research, like we play a role play of user research, like what is a user research? Why is this important for a product owner? And why is this important for the teams to be part of this user research, or many times involve the teams as much as possible, because the teams usually know why we are doing certain things certain way. And then we also talk about the difference between customer and user and how to segment them. And on day two, we start with creating a product roadmap. So what is a product roadmap? And what is the frequency, or how often you can revisit your product roadmap? And how do you evolve the product roadmap as the product evolves? And then we also talk about something what we call it as technical debt after the product roadmap. And then we talk about business value. Product owner's job is to maximize business value. We see one example. We have a technique, what we call it as relative weighting technique. So in this relative weighting technique, we talk about defining business value and how do you score some of the features in the product, and how do you identify what has the highest value. And then we also talk about stakeholder segmentation. Like how do you as a product owner work with stakeholders, and how do you segment them, and whom are you really going to invite into your sprint reviews? And then after that, we talk about user personas. Working with personas is one of the important accountability of a product owner. If you do not know your user, then probably you're not going to be a great product owner. So working with user personas is something that's really valuable. And then we also talk a lot about story writing. What are the do's and don'ts of user story writing? And then we talk about sizing stories using story points. And then definition of done. What does done means to you? What does done means to you as a product owner? What can really make great definition of done? How comprehensive the definition of done to be? What are the side effects if the stories are not fully done? And we also talk about the connection between maximizing technical debt versus definition of done. And then we talk about some of the metrics like burn down charts, or burn down charts, burn up charts, mapping velocity, like how do you compare the team velocity with themselves, not with any other teams, or what decisions as a product owner you can take using velocity curves. Or let's say, for example, we also talk about how a product owner, what behaviors a product owner must avoid so that the team is not maximizing technical debt. And we also talk about prioritization techniques like theme scoring and Kano model, Kano analysis. And we also talk about Moscow prioritization technique. And then we'll also see a sample of a product roadmap, product backlog, and what are some of the things that product owners should do. How a product owner deal with partially done stories. and what should a product owner do, and how a product owner capture the feedback from the sprint review and add it back to the product backlog. And I would also show some examples of evolving nature of the product backlog. And then show an example of release planning and scaling Scrum. What do you think a product owner should do when a product is being worked upon by multiple teams? So throughout the session, we maintain one stance, that is one product backlog. Multiple teams can work on one single product. And we create product backlog, which can be worked upon by multiple teams. And then finally, the CSPO certification. How do you maintain the certification? What is the value of maintaining that certification over the next 2 years? And we also briefly touch upon the advanced portfolio. So this is what we wanted to usually cover during Certified Scrum Product Owner session. Thank you so much. Any questions, you can always reach out to me. Thank you.